President John Dramani Mahama responded to Manasseh Azuri any Womomaka concerning slavery reparations Juma President Mahama any Kujata Blakwa Ekokoye ewo United States no. Mokai say abra ye two abane wi ya Ghana edi nkunima United Nations edi two muno. Manasseh Azuri betwere ensem bi wo Facebook. Na ne na all kana say ampani ampa say yes, as I say, US for Triaka, and I say, ye demonstrate actually UN say, Wamu Adiana or Muye, and Abrofono, a crime against humanity. Now see a reparations, and I have so more compensate for that. Now, Kumatoya Yama Wama Wamu Ebuama, ye bef tam Sancrophone free Africa, Koyan as well. What of Sancrophone? Because according to Manasseh Azuri no, Manasseh Azuri na ose nyesa abrofo no bae na ombe de ometam nkrofo no koye entisa but abrofo no bae no nkrofo bi na ema omo opportunity to sell them out. Edi galamsey kurampo example say uye galamsey ya nyesa ukodua na uye ewo hini bi ananse panyi bi okrum ho by taking something from you so that obema asase na wakoye wo mind ni ade ti was say ye blame ya brof na ye blame ya before so ankasa. That was the statement. And when our President Mahama abe respond, he was say in frontal arguments Mahama jabs Manasseh others over slavery reparations criticism. So this is President Mahama. I say President John Dramani Mahama appears to have taken a swipe at award-winning investigative journalist Manasseh Azuri and other critics of the demand for reparations to African countries over slavery, which was part of the United Nations resolution he Mahama championed. Even though the president did not directly name Manasseh Azuri, the investigative journalist was among the first critics who said African countries do not deserve reparations because some Africans were complicit in the slave trade. And President Mahama ain't going directly, while more Manasseh did, but or responding indirectly say, "Mo can't say we no, mo response ni." You understand? He was reacting to these criticisms at his presidential dialogue with civil society organizations. The president could not hide his displeasure about the criticisms, describing them as childish remarks by persons who may be seeking attention. President Mahama said no, and some Manasseh no more canon a childish, a young quadasem, or a young quadasem no muye, no move here attention keke. They want to be heard, they want to be relevant, they want people to hear about them. You understand? A childish. I say, a few of our people, I don't know whether for attention or popularity, criticize the achievement and tried to belittle it, and they made all kinds of infantile arguments. They say so, but Africans were involved. The crime was systematic. The ships that carried the slaves were insured by reputable insurance companies that are some of the richest in the world today because they profited from the slave trade. The ship owners made money. It was young Crawford be on social media on him say, on pay attention and answer fame. I criticize the achievement, no. Trying to belittle it, say any achievement. Now Muki can't say Munu Bebre any other. And I just say insurance companies nibiane omuye richest in the world, no. Na omuka humbi and as I no course. They made money out of it and swear. The Manasseh car or forget no. And listen to the important one. Reparations were paid to slave owners for letting the slaves go. When they abolished the slave trade and said the slaves could go, they compensated the person who had enslaved somebody for loss for losing their slaves. Slavery is recognized as the gravest crime, and you say, oh, but Africans were involved. And he filmed. He added, this was a whole system. They built ships, and they built the ships with measurements to make sure that the cargo could take the cargo could take the maximum amount of slaves. And you tell me that you know, Africans were involved. So we shouldn't talk about reparations. Some people just want to whittle down what happened. President Mahama went on to describe some of the things that transpired during the slave trade, insisting that it was a grievous crime against humanity. If you know what happened to the slaves, nothing compares to it in everything that has happened in this world. To the 15 million people who were sent away, those who died, I'll give you one example. A ship captain threw 134 slaves overboard to go and claim insurance because your ancestors were cargo, and so if the ship lost cargo, there was insurance that compensated for the loss of cargo. And 134 slaves, he threw them overboard and went and filed an insurance claim for loss of cargo. He said the president cited the recognition of slavery as the gravest crime, saying that if for nothing at all, the souls of our existence would be at rest. He laughed at the suggestion that because Africans were involved in the slavery trade, no person should be held responsible for it, likening the trade to the genocide against Jews. And this is President John Dramani Mahama response. In fact, Debia Meka say, if you think say Bruni be pewasema, forget it. Yeah, so would you say Bruni pewasema, forget it. Abrofuno, some of them they are good, but Abrofu in general no, omumpe e bibifo yem kwaswo. Eno de a fact. Omu empe bibifo yem kwaswo. Eno any idea ba kono no. Ye yem kwaswo de wamumpe kra. That is the problem. Enti wamumpe yem kwaswo de I say yes, you reparations. You understand? Because what they did to us, no, and once they did, countries are benefited from it, no. Yeah, countries now mututia, Germany num so mudi omunim. European countries nebebre, Belgium num so munim, UK num so munim, America, Argentina, and Israel. And now we are bold enough to come out and say, yeah, they are against it. Understand? And untina andra Israel for suma papa we so mekasa. Say, honey, we voted against Ghana slavery with regret. What regret? Mom baby before yasem. 4 years then Danny will be slave. Baloki, yeah, cap hand there. Donald Trump say mbechichi abibifo mbra America nipa ebedi akire no. Anyway, ye wedi nkomo.